Ugh. Oh, hello. Sorry about that. Right. Hello, everybody. It's Friday. Might not be Friday when you're watching this, wherever you are in the world. Hello. If you've never watched one of these videos before, I'm sorry. You've got... Normally people turn off right about now. You might be wise to do that. So what have we got? My glasses are a bit dirty. Probably because I just blew my nose into them. For the comedy effect. Come on. See if I do that. Sorry about the banana thing last week. I did watch the beginning bit of the video back to put in those little title things and I thought, it's gross. Right, what have I got? Open this Sunday. Open the first Sunday of the month for now. We'll be going back to every Sunday as soon as probably a bit more into the spring, into the summer. So, but open the first Sunday of the month. Gig on the 25th. Helen Moore. Sorry, Helen, if I pronounced your surname wrong. Doing an in-store. Back to the gigs, which is going to be great. And we put the gigs on in that corner there. We have people, obviously, sorry about that. We have people obviously all around us. This is not very good. The production value has shot up, hasn't it, on these videos? Production value has absolutely escalated through the roof since I've become a global YouTube sensation. No more subscribers this week. Excellent, keep it up. My aim is to get to 0 by the end of the year. Don't subscribe. Don't hit the watch it thingy button. Not interested in any of that. Okay, it's purely a process by which I can just get stuff off my chest. Obviously, come and buy some records if you like. Come down to the shop. Somebody brought some records in and sent me a message yesterday. If you're watching, thank you. And said you got a good vibe about the shop. It's cool. Got to bring some people back and stuff. And I thought, yeah, that's what it's about. It's meant to be basically about talking about great records. And obviously, I've got to sell some, right? Got to sell some, but you know, midlife crisis, etc. Well, oh, I forgot this last week. Happy. We'll get to the record. We'll get to the records about 4 minutes. Is what I seem to be doing. Happy World Book Day. Don't dress up and all that. It's not Happy Fancy Dress Day. It's Happy Read a Book Day. Okay. So go downstairs to see Bob. Bob's got some amazing books. Go downstairs and see Bob. He has got a load of comics. And I forgot to mention it last week, but I wanted to mention it this week. So Bob's getting rid of his old comic collection. He's got some fantastic comics. I know this is about records, the whole series of the last one there. And I want these, but I mean, I've got the actual comic, you know, graphic novel. Somebody once told me, don't call it a graphic novel. Somebody's into all this. It's comics. They're comics. V for Vendetta. Okay, what's that? What was I going to say about something? There's something that I was going to say. Something about World Book Day. Buy a book. Read a book. Something. It'll come back. What else have I got? Oh, let's do the RIPs. Yeah. I mean, there's been a few, hasn't there, this week? Do that Pulp. Steve. I can't remember his surname. Sorry. Apologies. Should have read that. Well prepared. The one that did get me was I read that Wayne Shorter had died. I hope I've got that right. He's not either still alive or died years ago. But Wayne Shorter, the great jazz international symbol for the saxophone. Juju is his famous record, isn't it? Give that a listen. Recommendation for this week is give some of that mid-60s jazz a listen. Get yourself a black polo neck. Start smoking Camels or what they call Gauloises or whatever, those French cigarettes. Sit in the corner of a dark room, preferably in a basement of your house. Put a bit of Wayne Shorter on and just think you're like a cool hip daddy-o beatnik. Although that was about a decade before that album. But anyway, do that. Okay, so where are we? Oh, I've overshot it. You know, nobody who watches these videos is surprised, are they? Bob Comics. Oh, do you see me mug? Have you seen the mug video? I mean, I've basically arrived, haven't I? You know, I mean, I've got a mug that when it heats up, you know, it shows the logo. Is that heat convection? No, it's not. It's magic. It's magic. like all things. Right, 5, let's get on. Welcome if you've joined to watch the videos at this point. 5 minutes. So just making a note for me little thing at the front. 5 minutes records. Okay, right, let's get in. Got singles, got some records, albums, and I've got some collectibles. Some of the collectibles I took out of the racks because I didn't really have a ton this week, and I'm going to do that because, you know, it's my prerogative, it's my shop. Turn off. If you don't want to watch, it's cool. I'm really good at placating the public. I like that word, placating. You know, when you know someone's learnt a new word because they use it all the time. It's not a word I particularly learnt, it's just a word I like. But it is funny when you know, particularly when you're growing up and someone would have learnt, particularly in university, for example, someone learnt a new word and they'd be like, "Oh, I think that person is placating," and you'd be like, "Oh, someone's learnt a new word." I always like to use the word collegiate, which means I think working together. But I used to get that and collegial mixed up. So, and I think collegial just means like part of a college, doesn't it, or something? I don't even know it now. I'm surprised I've not used it in these videos. But anyways, over 6 minutes I'm not got into the records. It's typical. Beatles singles. That's a repress. These are all either the first or second pressings of them. Yeah. Or the EPs. It's all the EPs. Right. EP, 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 Echo Popper, and a few of the singles I've priced up. First we've got Rick, right, Rick roll this out of my shop. So clever. I don't even know what Rick roll means. My son said it and I was like, oh yeah, I don't know. And then I just priced this up just because I wanted to put this high fidelity joke on there. Yeah? You know that. I was going to put the joke about being in a coma, but I thought that's probably a bit much. If you got to go and check the movie out to get that. Right, where did we leave off? Paul, but it's easy for you to say. The Butterfield Blues Band, right? 1987 reissued, looks unplayed. Bit of Kate. Whenever you get Kate in, it flies out, really. Great album, Lionheart. I've got Kick inside. They were there. I think there's a big thing about that being a million years old or something. So I'm really just not up to speed. If you want anything like contemporary, new release, like sensible music, don't come to my shop. Go to a proper record shop, right? Go to record store day. I don't do record store day. I do have some feelings about it. I can't afford it, right? I simply can't afford to do it. And I think that we should celebrate independent record shops all the time. It's a bit, I do see it a bit like kind of Valentine's Day or something. Doesn't mean I won't do it. It doesn't mean, it just means that, you know, celebrate them all the time, which is, I don't save everything up for record store day or anything, and go to those shops and buy stuff if you want to buy it to have it. But there's a big emphasis on flipping stuff, isn't there? And I don't really like that. I haven't got the cash to have the excess stock or anything like that. So support all the shops that do it. Please support all the shops all the time. Like come to my gig, to watch my gig, go to other shops' gigs, go to a record shop on, like, you know, a Thursday afternoon or a Tuesday morning or something, chat to the owners, get into the groove. Yeah? Dark Side of the Moon, that's like 1 billion years old as well, isn't it? I've actually, this is just a new press of it, but there's all these people showing their pictures of Dark Side of the Moon on their rare presses and first presses and all this stuff. And I've got to be honest, I'm not going to play it because YouTube is a bloody nightmare with, when you play music, it gives you a strike that you've got a copyright claim. I don't even know what that means, but I just prefer not to play the music on YouTube. But look, one of my coolest possessions, it's not even that expensive, but you know, I've got the 8-track, and you come in the shop and hear it because it really does sound great. I've got all this 70s equipment, amp and speakers, etc. And I've got the 80s 8-track machine, and this sounds phenomenal. It really does sound good on tape. And of course, because it's 8-track, it cuts like part us and them, part one, and then it fades it out and comes back into us and them on this, because that's 4 programs. The tape splits into 4. They're almost called 8-track. And you can actually get a 4-track tape. You don't want to know this stuff, but that's what these videos are about, isn't it? Me talking absolute nonsense. Move on. Okay. Yes, shows. Anyway, come in the shop, listen to me 8-track. That's an original. That's about 18 quid. Sting's head has been damaged. I think after the making of this album. Oh yeah, it's just on the sleeve. That's it. It's just actually on this sleeve there. Okay. But there's this thing, picture disc. The rubbish, aren't they, picture disc? You don't buy them to play them. They're absolutely dreadful to play. But people have them, put them on their walls. It's promotional, marketing, isn't it? Who would have guessed that the music industry was all about selling stuff? It's the point of this video, right, ultimately. Jimmy Somerville. Jimmy Somerville. What's wrong with me this morning? Stress in it, life. You know, everybody's got their own stresses. Got stresses going on, it's a nightmare. But yeah, no, you don't know about that, do you? I'm gonna do the joke. Does anybody here like the Human League? This is their first album. Apparently this has got tracks by Mick Ronson and Jeff Wayne on. Now that is a pub quiz question. I'd have never, you know, got that. Get that haircut. If you're from Liverpool, do you remember Blacklers? Do you remember the Rockin' Horse in Blacklers? It's now Wetherspoons, and I think they've still got it in the window, but it's got that haircut. Next time you go past, have a look. And every time I used to go up to Lime Street to get the train back to wherever I was living or whatever, it's always like crack. Like, does anybody here like the Human League? Just to myself walking past Black, I must have looked insane. I've got some interesting records here. This one is Black Dice, Bloke in Ear record. It's abstract noise. It's quite an interesting record. Right, and the cover looks, it's a bit of a strange cover, and the whole record is like it's oversized, and the actual record itself is like difficult to listen to and get into. So just like the fact that the artist has probably gone, right, we're going to make this just a really difficult record all round. Look, it's just too oversized to fit in the box. Tom, our Sunday guy, donated that to the shop. Come in Sunday, have a good chat with Tom. Tom knows like more about music than me. He's like properly knows about music. Moving on. Some other, what's this? Spider Gourd. Really? Spider Gourd, G-A-W-D. You can tell I have no idea what it is. Purple vinyl though. Ooh, with CD. Ooh. Don't know what sort of music that is. If you do, keep it to yourself. No one's interested. Right. Soundtracks. Transformers, the movie. Very early on the time, 12 minutes. I think this is a repress. Yeah. I don't know what year it's from, but music on vinyl. I think they do pretty good. Represses, don't they? Repress, 9 Inch Nails. Pretty Hate Machine. I don't think I ever got to see them live. I'm not sure, maybe at a festival somewhere in the early 90s. Went to quite a few and I can't remember all the bands. Apart from I remember New Order sound checking at one Reading festival and waking me up from my cider hangover and my feet sticking out the tent because the tent wasn't big enough. Oh, did I tell you the story about buying the hemp dungarees? First festival I went to, I bought some hemp dungarees. I think they were purple. Wow, I've made some poor decisions in my life, but woo, purple hemp dungarees. Purple hemp dungarees. Stress. Good band though. I think they were the headliner. Bob Dylan, Nashville Skyline. I think is that repress? That's new. Yeah. Bowie, Legacy, Davy Jones. Yeah. Legacy, just a comp in it. I've had this in before, but that's like brand new. Oh, it's got David Bowie, Mick Jagger dancing in the street. Have I mentioned? I forget what I've talked about, but have I mentioned musicless videos on YouTube? I must have. Go and check out musicless videos on YouTube. There's a great dancer. What they've done is some clever wags have put these videos on or excerpts of videos, and they have removed the music. So they got dancing in the street, and all you can hear is the grunting of Mick Jagger and David Bowie, like bit of ambient background noise, and the squeaking of their shoes and the swishing of their coats. Oh man, it's so funny. There's that one, and then the best one is Lionel Richie doing Hello, where I'm not even going to spoil it, you just got to watch it. If you're not in tears watching that, it's comedy genius. I might have mentioned it before. Totally underrated, amazing pop band, right? Rick Ocasek and the Cars, amazing. I love the Cars, produced by Roy Thomas Baker. who did all the Queen stuff, didn't he, in the 70s. Just really well produced pop. And I was reading somewhere that Nirvana's last gig, they did a cover of My Best Friend's Girl, and then Foo Fighters did it. Well, not Foo Fighters, but it was that, what, the tribute gig to Taylor Hawkins. I'm pretty sure it was it Josh Homme? Maybe it was them Crooked Vultures with Dave Grohl, I think, did Best Friend's Girl. I'm pretty sure they did Best Friend's Girl. So, you know, it's a great tune. Rick Ocasek. I remember one of the first albums I actually bought was whatever the album Drive is on. You know, Heartbeat City. And I bought it for my dad, but I kept like just listening to it and just thinking, this is nuts. Just like those pop songs were just great, really highly produced stuff. And then of course Rick Ocasek did Bad Brains. Naturally, go and look up Bad Brains if you don't know Bad Brains. They are, it's a whole different. Come and talk to Tom about Bad Brains. Iron Maiden, Power Slave. This is a brand new copy. I've got another 180 gram repress of this. Jazz Baby, blue vinyl. Das Beatles, little pop combo from around these parts. I think they're pretty good. I think they'll do well. Rock and roll music. Shelby Road, New Press. Hard Day's Rut, New Press. Sgt. Pepper. It's a brand new press. AC/DC, all the way to L, brand new press on that. Pretty good quality. I've played this in the shop. Sounds pretty good. That's another album. I think I don't know if my dad had it or actually on album, but I remember buying it very early days when I started to buy records, and just being like, absolutely, I'm just Highway to Hell. Really, touch too much. Yeah, I mean, pretty much all the If You Want Blood, You Got It. Yeah, all the big ones. But I just couldn't get over just how good like Highway to Hell was as a kind of. To be honest, it's a pop rock song, isn't it? Don't shout at me, but it is. It's accessible. It's just almost perfect. This dude is just the coolest cat in town. I always have this in stock. Keyboard King at Studio One. This is just it's perfection. You've got to come and buy this from me. Get up and get it. It's just amazing. So Jackie Mitu was the in-house keyboard player. Was he the keyboard player for the Ethiopians? This is how these Scatlights. That's how these videos go. I'm just more interested in reminding myself about stuff. Scatlights, and but the in-house keyboard player in Studio One. Oh, some amazing stuff on that. Just come in the shop, we'll play it. ELO, all over the world. Some sort of comp, I think. Yeah, comp. All the big hitters on there. Oh, cutter ELO. Love ELO. Scary Monsters. That is, I think that's new. Yeah, that's a new pressing of it. Pet Sounds. 1983. Right, we're rattling through these, aren't we? Might be a short video this week. I mean, I'll probably have to make them shorter. A, because that's they're boring, aren't they? And B, my phone can't handle it. I can't upload them. It just like gives up. Right, where are we? Collectibles. Should we say collectibles at 19 minutes? Just write that down with me pen. There's something about merch, isn't it? I mean, I don't know why, but obviously I'm trying to sell records, but there's just something cool in having your own merch. I don't know, what can you say? Anyway, welcome to the collectible bit. If you've just joined for that, and if you're joining with the sound down, then you're missing a treat. You're not. I'm not going to insult those people anymore. Paul Weller on Sunset. This is not invisible flexi vinyl. Ha ha ha. It is pixie disc. So there's that. Robert Plant, Fate of the Nations. I'm not even going to show you the price, it's too embarrassing. But I didn't realise just how that is like going off 150 quid. Woo! I didn't realise. Bob was that collectible. Saw Bob once, genuinely, in the market, going to buy Birmingham market, I was going to buy some combat trousers or boots or whatever it was that I could afford at the time, and he was just walking around the market, like looking at the record stalls and bits of pottery and whatever. And you know, when you meet someone like that and you think that's not them, you convince yourself it's not whoever it is. You know, Macca on a bus or whatever, and it clearly is. I didn't do anything. I just kind of like stood there going, "It's from a plant," to me mate. And I think we were both going, "I think he's from a plant." And then we bought some cheap combat boots and got the train home. Felt second press with the square bit there. Kinks. Well, lots of bands shouldn't reform, shouldn't bother, just like should bow out gracefully, shouldn't they? Or certainly, I'm not sure I'd like pay big money. Remember Fleetwood Mac came about 5 years ago when they did a big tour, and it was the rumours, obviously the rumours, line up, and I thought, do I go? This is clearly my last chance. Like the lowest price ticket was like 150 quid, and I thought, nah. But one band I definitely would queue up for would be the remaining members of the Kinks. I think Pete died, didn't he? Well, left in the late 60s, but has subsequently died. But imagine the three of them got back together with, you know, another bass player, perhaps the dude who replaced Pete. And this is a great record, and this is the first record, and you can pick these up pretty cheap. I've got one of these came in, and I've got it in mint. I collect King stuff, so if you've got any good King stuff, bring it in, because I do like King stuff. Yeah, I managed to get hold of a signed copy of one of these. Signed stuff is hard with provenance and all that sort of jazz, but had a convincing backstory behind it. Signatures looked genuine. I thought, yeah, that's cool. Going for that. So that's pretty good. Hot Rats. This is the tan repress. The first repress is the tricolor one on the label. This is the early tan one. Zappa's most record collection came in yesterday, and it had all sorts of stuff that was like relatively inexpensive, and I had a copy of Hot Rats in. So there's always something good in collections, but there's loads more filling the £2 bin. I can see them here now. The £2 bin is bulging, so you know I might do a half price sale of the £2 bin. I've had this in for a while, but I'm just showing you again because it's a promo copy of it, and I've got a normal UK print of it. Sorry, burping. I haven't swooped me tea. Still got loads of Scott Walker stuff because I picked up this collection. Must be 6 months ago now, maybe longer, and it had lots of Scott Walker in. I've still got quite a bit of it left, and pricing some of that up. Got a copy of this in, and I've had it in for a while. This is great. Ronnie Lane and Pete Townsend. I say it's great. It's not the greatest of albums. It sounds like they've recorded it separately and they've gone into the studio. I remember getting hold of a copy of this when I started to get into the Faces, and I thought I really love Ronnie Lane. And his solo stuff is great. If you like any of that Faces stuff that particularly he sings on, and he wrote the play that what he wrote, then it's worth investigating this. It's pretty good record if that's your thing, as in the Ronnie Lane stuff. Seagull Ross, I've had this in for a while, but this is 2005 double with limited edition. It's got a bit of a tear on the top edge, and again that's slightly uncouthly shaped. Fleetwood Mac are bringing out a new record, aren't they? So go and get that from a great local Liverpool record shop, or the chap in Southport, Quicksilver. A shout out to him because I think he's been sending customers my way, and certainly I get his customers coming in here. So go, and I often talk about the shops in Liverpool. So the ones I would highly recommend would go. I've been to a shop and it's really great, but it's been a while ago now. So get up to there in Southport. Dave is the chap. I think I met him once, so hello. Go there, go to Defend Vinyl, see Graham, who's the man, and get over to 81A Renshaw and see Neil in 81A Renshaw. They're great. Oh, Dig, obviously go to Dig. The guys in Dig are great. And Probe I'm not been to in ages, but I'm used to be a regular customer there, so get yourself down to Dig. Support your local record shop, not just records all day. Nirvana, 12-inch, Smells Like Teen Spirit. It was massive when that came out, wasn't it? It's a big thing, and everybody pretended they'd been into them since, you know, Bleach, and they'd seen them on that tour with Tad. nobody had. Well, I did have this mate who had gone, and he was just like mega into music, and he was a good guy. But and he'd gone to that tour with Tad, Nirvana support Tad. I think Chad Channing on drums. It's all fascinating stuff, isn't it? Right, Play magazine Play. What a great band on Grand Royal on the Beastie Boys label. Are totally just kind of just left behind. I don't know why. They're a brilliant band. Kind of funky beats, hip hoppy based pop. She had the new Metallica single, "Son of My Father," or whatever it's called. It's all right, isn't it? I think it sounds like it's a mix between Black and Load period, which is probably that, and the Saint Anger period is probably what people hate the most about Metallica. But I love that stuff. I bought the Black album, saw them in that era, and they were great. They were all wearing black, and Lars had this white drum kit, and they were just like, they meant it. And I like that, and that song's pretty good, that new one. It's based on that. Bad picture disc. I've had that in for a while. Peace of Mind, original first press. Get You Forward with the cut doodahs. It's pretty good condition. Near mint. UK first 1983 with black die cut inner and promo sheet. If you don't buy records and you're just like one of my family members watching this thinking, what the hell is he talking about? People go for this. And I'll give you a call tonight. Incredible Bongo Band. I sold a new copy of this last week. It's an amazing record. This is the Italian. This is the famous cover, isn't it? But the British one didn't have this cover. It's some weird sort of jungle type cover. Faith No More. First press of that. Can't say enough about Faith No More. Fugazi. I'm going quick now because the times realise I'm just taking it at my own pace. Brian Eno. What a record. The Cult. Thinking of starting my own cult. But you know what? What puts me off? It's admin. I think it'd be quite admin heavy. You know, I don't really have the time or the inclination to do it. And it'd have to be called like the Cult of Alan. And I'd have to walk around. The joke would just be you walk around saying to everybody, "You're a big cult." That'd be the point of doing it. That'd be the joke. I think people would do it, but you have to dress up like a member of the cult. So you have to. Obviously, everybody wants to be in Asprey, right? Or what's his name? Billy Duffy. I don't have the hair for either of them, or the good looks, or the faux American accent for any of that stuff. So maybe I'll give that some consideration. I'll let you know if you're interested. I'll give you the address to send a standard addressed envelope to. Off the Bone, Cramps, Hasn't Got the Glasses, Clash, London Calling, got a number of them. Cure, 17 Seconds, Tim Buckley, la 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 la. Right, I'm rushing because I'm not Russian. I'm rushing. Move on. What else? Recommendations. Or let's just check in to see whether they're beyond a reform. Okay, another one of them next week. They haven't. I'm going to go down and see them and get some records signed. And they're just not getting away with it. And I've made a really bold statement that I'm going to start a record label and repress their albums. It's very bold, and I really want to do it. I don't know how to do it. I don't know where to start. I just obviously need money, and I'm stay tuned. I really love these records. These have been out for ages, but this whole B Music, it's Andy Votel, isn't it? Finders Keepers label. But it's just got like everything from Persian pop to Welsh rare beats to Turkish folk pop, psych. Honestly, they're all brilliant. They sound like it's a bit pretentious and a little bit difficult to get to, but they've done the hard work for you. They dug out the gems, and they're all absolute belters. And I play this stuff all the time and have been for years. But I thought I should, and curated by record labels in the Northwest. Not that means a thing. I'm just saying you should be able to get hold of it if you're in the Northwest. I mean, I think Pro will have some. I don't have them, but I just play them. And Piccadilly definitely will have them. This is one of my favourite. This synthetic soul. It's nuts, crazy. Love it. And something I've been playing in the shop loads is the Numero group record stuff. You got to dig them out. But this has been out a while. They dig out, they unearth all these absolutely immense record label stuff, and this is a a record label that existed in like Iowa or somewhere, but they recorded everything. Oh, Illinois, is it? No, that's where they're based. They recorded everything in a lime cavern, so there's all sorts of great stuff on here. It's pop, it's garage, it's a bit of soul, a bit of funk, but all recorded in this lime cavern in this recording studio. It didn't get anywhere. This is ace. It's been out a while, but there's a whole series of them, but it's Italian cop music, so think Morricone, stuff like that. Right, that's that. Showed you the comics. What else? Oh yeah, look at this. I got this record in. We'll end on this. Breakdance, it's K-Tel breakdance record, all like done by somebody else. Brilliant. And it came with the poster, which I've obviously immediately framed, but learn how to breakdance. Now these poses are normally the pose, you know, that's me getting out of bed basically, or trying to get over the end bit of the counter down there, which if you come to the shop I often kind of fall over. But look at this. So I'm putting this up. I've got to put obviously a safety notice saying we don't take any down here somewhere. We don't take any responsibility for you falling over if you try and do any of these breakdance moves. Come down the shop, buy some records, come to the gig, respect each other, yeah? Be respectful. If you see something, call it out, be respectful. I can't believe I just did that. I'm so sorry. I am 50, so I guess you can do that sort of stuff. Right, let's try my booty thing. Oh, I didn't do the messing about. What time was it for messing about? God, I don't know. I just say, messing about through the whole thing. Right, see ya. Oh, it does my head in.